Hi, Lindsay. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me. Thanks for chatting with me.
I'm super excited to talk to you today. I'm here with Lindsay today from the Haverford College women's volleyball team. I'm very excited to talk to you about your sport. Did you play volleyball in high school as well?
Yeah, so I started playing volleyball in sixth grade. I went to a super, super small school, and it was either soccer or volleyball for girls' sports. And I hated running, so I chose volleyball. And the first year I started playing for school, I also joined a club travel team. And honestly, then I just never stopped, and I'm still playing. I'm still playing in college now, which is super cool.
So it's your first sport, really, and your only sport?
I did the typical like gymnastics, soccer thing when I was like 6, like a little introduction to the sports, a little basketball. But volleyball, people asking why I played it, like why I still play it, and I think it's just because I started and I never stopped. Like I just kind of stuck with it and kept going with it because it was fun and I liked it.
You must love it, because if you didn't love it, you would have stopped and done something else.
That's true. That's true. I love it a lot.
What do you love about it?
I love that it makes me feel strong and powerful when I play. Like it's a very intricate and technical sport, but there's also opportunity to just like power through a block or have a sick kill and like feel super strong too. So it's just a super fun game to play. Like once you get older and you're able to like analyze the plays more and like see it more analytically, it's just super fun to try to like play defense and like dig the ball like where they're gonna hit it. I don't know. There's nothing like it in my opinion. It just gives me such a rush. It makes me feel so accomplished when I do something well.
How about your teammates? Tell me about the relationship that you have with the other girls on your team.
Yeah, college volleyball is awesome. I've never experienced a team like this in any high school or club setting. I mean, you're with your teammates all day, every day when you're in season and preseason, and coming into college and having that support system already there was super, super helpful. I mean, my teammates, like they've seen me at my worst, they've seen me at my best. We've all supported each other through different tough times in season and, academically too. They're coming to practice sad because like they had a bad test score. You see each other through so many different scenarios, and it really forms, I don't think you realize it in the moment, but once you're out of it for a little bit, like I am now, like a couple months, after our season in the summer, you can look back and say, wow, like that was some really cool relationships that I formed with these girls that, I've just been stuck with for so long. So many hours every day you're spent with each other, and like they quickly grow into your family, and you can trust them. So,
do you feel like those close relationships make you better on the court as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Hit with each other?
For sure. It's just, I think everyone plays their best volleyball when they're having fun, when they're loose, when they're relaxed. And I mean, there's moments where we'll be tense on the court or tense during practice in a game, and we say, like, we come in the middle and we say, like, hey guys, like, it's just volleyball. Like, we're still playing with our best friends. I remember it was our last game, like first round of the conference playoffs, and we were losing. We were in a sticky situation, but we were all just looking at each other and saying, this is still great though. Like one last game to go out there and just play with your best friends. So that helps a lot.
Definitely. How do you physically train to be at your peak for season?
So I started getting really into like lifting and the weight room my junior year of high school, and I was so scared because I was like, I'm a girl, I don't know how to lift weights, I feel like this is a dude thing, and then quickly I like fell in love with it, and it's like, you know what, like who cares like who wants to be strong? Like everyone can be strong and go lift weights if they want to. There's no stigma attached to it. Like everyone's just trying to be the best athlete they can, and putting in the work in the weight room is what gets you there. So I quickly fell in love with that. So I still go to the gym a lot. We have some preseason physical like cardio sprint challenges that we have to do. So I go out in the morning, I do my sprints, all to train for that preseason. And then preseason itself just helps kind of train more like the volleyball skills because you're already in like good physical shape. And then just that year round, like continuing to lift with now instead of lifting alone in the summer, you're lifting with your teammates at college, which is a different different dynamic, which is fun to see everyone pushing each other in the weight room too. So I personally love lifting, and that's like my number one way to get in shape. But you can also just like play more volleyball. Like volleyball is a very aerobic sport too, and it helps build your leg strength. So I think you need like a balance of weightlifting and some volleyball and some sprints in there to put it in the pot, mix it together, and boom, you have like an in-shape volleyball player. But it's all super fun. I love every aspect of training.
Do you follow any sort of nutritional program or diet when you're in season?
Yeah, I don't follow a like diet per se. I come from a very like natural household where my parents, are always reading the ingredients, checking the labels, not getting anything that has any sort of the nasty of the day that my dad's researched. So I think just trying to eat clean, trying to eat, your fruits and veggies, of course, but also knowing that sometimes there's like, you just need to fuel your body, and making sure that not trying to be in like a specific like caloric range, or not trying to like track your calories or track exactly how many grams of what you're getting, but just listening to your body and like trying to eat everything that you eat, trying to eat clean and natural. But then at the end of the day, whatever you eat makes you feel good, fuels your body well. If you think that eating, I don't know, a steak before your game helps you, then like gives you energy, like sure. But if it makes you sick, then try something else. Like I think you should have a freedom too. I think athletes have this idea where you have to follow like a strict training schedule for lifting and a strict like nutrition schedule for eating, but everybody's different. So I think you just find what works for you and try to do as well as you can, knowing that also it's college. Like I have a dining hall, like I can't really cook everything for myself, just making the best of what's already available to me, and supplementing when need be. But yeah, I don't follow anything super strict.
So how far do you think you'll go with this? What's next after a college volleyball?
That's a good question. Yeah, I go to a D3 school, and it's very rare for D3 players to go anywhere like further in their sport after college. Also, the United States doesn't have a professional volleyball team, so if you were to play professionally after college, you'd have to move out of the country. So that seems like a big commitment. Even if I was good enough to do that, I think I'd rather pursue a career in something, sciencey or something towards my major, and like a long-term career. Because playing volleyball in college has just been a dream of mine for so long. I've never really thought about volleyball after college, playing, competitively. Like the sport's always going to be there. That's a great thing about, having a sport you love, is even as you like graduate one chapter of life, like I graduated club in high school, now there's college. Then after college, there'll still be coaching and, attending rec leagues. So yeah, so I don't think that there's anything, it's given me so much already, and I'm so grateful for it. But I don't feel the need to, keep trying to like push and go to some pro league or anything like that. I'm just happy with, a little career and some volleyball on the side, maybe.
What kind of gifts do you feel that volleyball has given you?
Yeah, it's definitely given me patience, which I lacked a lot, and I still work on, but it gives me a lot of patience. Just as, you, especially in high school, I think of this a lot, growing up and seeing yourself go from, the freshman to the senior, like the leadership skills that you've developed and the communication skills you've developed, and the patience that now comes with, teaching those younger than you who you're playing with. And then going into college, transitioning into college and being that freshman again, and seeing the seniors and how they're treating you with maturity and respect and trust, it's fun because you get to see what the older girls teach you, and then you get to see how you yourself, take those, make it your own, and then give that to the next generation, or like the next year of players that come up after you. So definitely communication as well. Volleyball, you always have to be talking. Confidence, gives me a lot of confidence, which is nice. Yeah, and that didn't really hit until end of high school and starting college. So that's been a fun discovery. Yeah, just some good skills. I think I'm not sure that that's particular to volleyball. I mean, I think finding any sport that you love and you feel good playing can give you really valuable life skills.
Yes, and that's things that you're going to take forward in your life and be able to apply to every element going forward. So, well, that's really great. Is there anything else that you want to tell me about volleyball or sport, or how you train, or anything else?
I don't know. I would just say that, playing sports, I think, is an amazing part of my life. And I would encourage anybody to, even if it's a sport that's not like at your school or that you're just kind of interested in, just try it out and see what you love, because you never know what you'll love until you're doing it. So I know I was reserved about, starting to train too and lift and run, but I think, just try it out and see how it feels, and you might be surprised. You might fall in love with it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome to talk to you today.
Yes, thank you.